Y'all ready for this?
We both went there.
I think that's ready.
Welcome to the Party Invite podcast, where we strive to bring together a diverse group of enthusiasts to play, discuss, and enjoy everything video games. Tonight, we have party members Thomas Egan,
Hello.
Devi Hill,
Hola.
Vilos,
Hi.
and I am Mau Mau. That's what it says here, and anything on the prompter I will read. This is episode 48. Tonight we are going to, of course, discuss what we've been playing, but mostly what we played through our Extra Life weekend. Thomas, take it away.
So we just had our 1-year anniversary and Extra Life weekend with the help of a ton of people. We had over a dozen people in our team raising money, either streaming with us on the back-to-back stream we did or streaming all weekend. And some people who just raised money on the side, and it was dope. So
Super dope.
It was super dope. Our community has been around for more than a year, but we have, as a team, have only been around since last November, I think 7th. I want to say it was the 7th that we, were officially Party Invite. So when we had somebody in our community, Ecto5, he asked us, are we doing Extra Life this year? And that was probably a month ago. So not far from Extra Life. And at that point, I wasn't sure. I knew we wanted to do something for our 1-year anniversary, but wasn't sure what that was going to be. Well, I talked to Tom, and he's very experienced with Extra Life. He's done it a whole bunch of years and ended up being on some of the best teams in the region, in the Midwest. So we got his help, and we got a cool logo, or, got a cool graphic going, and he really held my hand trying to get everything started, because it's one of those situations I didn't know what I didn't know. So with his help, we got a whole team together. We figured out what we needed to get donations rolling in and all this stuff. Ecto5, he raised $802 by himself last week.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's wild. To give you perspective, as long as we streamed, through our donation link, we raised $710. So he killed it and illustrated exactly why he's been on the top teams for the past several years. So props to him. A lot of this, the ball really started rolling because of him. So we really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Ecto.
So we knew we wanted to get a lot of people together. We knew that we needed to do incentives. So what we did, Chris came up with doing beans and sodas. He went to, was it KC Soda Co.? Is that where you get novelty sodas?
Soda Co. And then I went to Wizards Candy or something like that across the street.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I got the beans and some other stuff.
Beans!
How much stuff do you still have left over?
Oh, Chris, you got
a bit of beans.
Oh, wait, talk while you shake it so we can hear it.
Oh, I got quite a bit left.
All right, sure.
I didn't know that I never picked that up.
What about the soda? How much of that? I mean, you don't have to show.
It's like it walks all the way to the kitchen, comes back.
I'm going to say 7. What do you guys think? I think 7 or 8.
I only have 4 sodas left.
4? Wow.
I'm surprised there's that many.
Incredible.
Yeah. Good luck.
One is the enchilada.
Oh, that's my...
Oh, crap. How'd we
Chris,
miss that
can you drink that one on the show tonight, please? Please, for the children, man. That's...
For the kids.
Yeah.
I'd do it for them kids.
For them kids. Oh, perfect. Okay, that makes me happy, because, enchilada, spaghetti, ketchup, and mustard were the 4 that I really wanted to see him drink. We got 3 of those last weekend.
I'm still going to bet on his body not being ready for this one.
No. So we had a bunch of donations over the weekend, but our number one was our boy, Russ Dugan. He donated 220 buckaroos last weekend, which is wild. Like, that is so generous. But not only did we get to donate for those kids, but we also got to, as a result, see Chris eat, I think, 4 beans at the same time. Russ was definitely responsible for the mustard soda and the ketchup soda. And here we go with this enchilada soda. Oh. How is it, buddy?
You're gonna love it.
Oh, he's going back for more. Oh, it's good. Oh, top tier.
It's not good. So it tastes like. Remember how I was like, this dirty dishwater tastes kind of spicy. Those beans.
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like that a little bit. It tastes like the enchilada sauce more than it tastes like anything.
I mean, that by itself sounds good, but
Not in soda form.
Ah, well,
And it's giving me enough of that dirty dishwater flavor that I'm worried if I keep drinking it, we might have a problem soon.
heading to
But
Albuquerque any
it's
moment.
for them kids. Thank you for everybody that helped us out with Extra Life because it was awesome.
Woo! If I had
Yeah.
a soundbite for applause, this is where it would play. So we had a really good time last weekend. Thanks again to Russ for getting Chris to put the most things in his body. Thanks to Lizzie and chat for always providing the bean
Beans.
emotes.
Beans.
But we played so many games. So we're gonna normally we would do what we've been playing for the show. Normally it's what we've been playing and then a party topic. But today's entire party topic is the recap of last weekend and kind of where we're at year one. So if we're gonna go through this, I'll read off some of the games we've played, and we'll have a VOD up on YouTube soon. Working on that, but you can always find that VOD here on Twitch right now. What's up, Chris?
Can I just do a quick shout to anybody that's watching that is also playing this? If you're playing Forza Horizon 5, add me so that we can do stuff together because I have no Xbox friends really that like still play Xbox. So Chairman Mao 2190 on the Xbox app, please do that. I've been playing that, but I will talk more about that next week.
Cool.
But I want to get that out there because I need to do all the, co-op-y, convoy, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm currently not doing. I'm just playing the game solo. And I'm like, oh, right, there's a whole connectivity thing, a part of this that I just have never done. So
You need a crew. You need a family.
squad. Yeah, I really do need a family.
So I'm gonna read off kind of the schedule. I'll read off the games we played throughout the weekend, and then we'll start from the beginning and kind of go through some of it. So Friday we played Among Us. We tried playing with mods as the short version. It didn't work. Fortunately, there is an update that came out this week that we sure wish was out last week. Would have made things a lot smoother.
Yeah, talk about bad timing.
Boy, 1 week sooner would have made such a huge difference. So Among Us, we had Satisfactory. Philos played Mr. Clean.exe, Sort the Court, and I Have to Pee, all itch.io games.
all fantastic.
All fantastic. We had Hateful Boyfriend over on the Demo Duos channel. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words here. We had Apex Legends. We had Hot Wheels Unleashed. We had Jackbox Games. Limnus Gate. Naraka Blade Point, character creator. Broforce. Phasmophobia, and 7 Days to Die. So we played a bunch, and that was just on our channel and a couple others. That's not even to mention Straying Bats playing Dead by Daylight over the past entire week. Nerdmeat played a whole bunch of stuff. I can tell you that in a few minutes when I pull up his page again. We had Ecto5 playing all sorts of things from Dungeons & Dragons to Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, we never forget the Schlorpies and the Nubbins, our Jackbox teams. I see the Schlorpies in chat there. Those are going to be permanent channels in our Discord now because they're too good to forget. But we played a ton of games, guys. Ton of games. So Among Us was a great time, but the mods it made for a lot of problems. Things that I learned from this week is that you cannot do a live stream of mods for the first time. You have to have people check that out in the first place because there are a bunch of things that I would do differently. But with people jumping in who are not familiar with Discord or Among Us or streaming, and then also trying to do mods, is too much. It's too much. But once we turned those bad boys off, it was a lot smoother, and we had a lot of fun. We're actually going to try to play again tomorrow with the new update with no mods, using or checking out all the stuff that just came out yesterday. So if anybody in chat wants to join us, this is the open invite. There are 15 spaces in there, so we got plenty of room. But that was our Friday night, a great way to kick it off. By the time we got to Friday, we already had like $300 raised, mostly from Bats, a little from Demo Duo. So that was a great way to kick it off. But then we had a $50 choose a game for me and for Vilos. And my friend Benson, not only did he pay the $50 to choose my game, he chose Satisfactory, one of his all-time favorite games. But it's $30, and my qualifier was that it had to either be a Game Pass game or on Steam under 20. So I went to Steam and I'm like, man, am I gonna pay $30 for this? Just to see that Benson had gifted me the game. So he paid $50 to get me to play it, and then $30 to put it in my pocket. So that was fantastic. We played that first thing on Saturday, and he let me play for an hour alone, kind of learn the ropes a little bit, and then he jumped in and showed me, little tips, which for any sort of crafting or sandbox game, having someone else to show you the ropes is what you need to do. I've said this so many times with the survival games we play in this community. A lot of people look at it as, oh, you guys are much better than me. I'm going to play on my own and learn a little bit. Then I'll join you so I'm not holding you back. And that's backwards. You want to play with your friends so that you can learn together, and you'll all get better, faster as a result. And it's so much more fun. There's no reason to subject yourself to the slow learning curve of a one-player survival game if you don't have to. So it was really nice having him jump in and show me, like, oh, you had trouble with the lampposts? Check out all this stuff I could do. And I'm interested in playing a lot more of that. People talk about putting thousands of hours in that game, and I can imagine it. It's not hard at all. But next we had Vilos. Do you want to talk about your itch.io experience?
Yeah. So we started off with MrClean.exe, which I'm hoping is now Cam Koenig's favorite game of all time. But that was an N64 style of game, about the least playable thing that you can put together for a. I mean, that wasn't even a 20-minute experience, was it?
No, I don't know. I wouldn't even call it an experience.
Oh.
And I'm not trying to shit on it. It was hilarious for what it was, but yeah, it was. You started off with, it was like 3 different rooms that you ended up going to. You had to clean up the mess that was left for you, and Mr. Clean sat there in his incredibly gaudy, creepy self. Just sat in the corner and would say stuff to you. It was jank. It was funny. I mean,
it had no music. It had no soundtrack of any kind. It was spooky.
It had no music. It barely had sound effects. And the most sound effects you had was when you smashed the crows, and it was blood puddles. You smash 3 crows, and they just become blood puddles. And there's not really a reason as to why you did that. That whole game, we finished it. Apparently, we got 1 ending out of 2 potential endings. Tried to go back into it and just replayed the whole game because I could not figure out what the hell to do. The second half of the game is just pure darkness. Like,
so technically, it's a game, but I would not call it that.
Yeah, like the great and horrible thing about a lot of the stuff that you do find on itch.io, because there is definitely great stuff there, is that sometimes you'll get things that are game jams that'll be like 48-hour games, and most of the time they say that they are. MrClean.exe did not say that it was.
Yeah.
I Have to Pee was, and it was actually a fantastic game. I loved what it was. I mean, you're just presumably a child that has to go pee, so you get out of bed and you have to find the bathroom, and this house is a labyrinth. Like, there's so many places to go, long ass hallways that make no sense for a house, but you see little details in the environment, like little sign that says love in all these different rooms, and then once you actually go pee the first time, then you have to do something else, and it goes down this little path where it ends up showing that it's a Halloween game, and the very end of the game, you basically
spook.
turn into an adult because of these occult worshippers. I don't know exactly what the point was, but it was pretty great. It was very creepy.
Dude, there's spooky
Um,
people in your
Mm.
house.
That kind of reminds me of like this old browser game called My Uncle Works at Nintendo, where it's like a text-based browser game, with like really spooky, like atmospheric ambient music, and
Mhm.
it's like in choose your own adventure. It does take place in a labyrinthine house, and depending on the paths that you choose, it can get pretty messed up.
yeah, that sounds like a good time. Very very similar. It was obviously pretty linear, and it was another barely 15-minute experience, but it was
Yeah.
super fun. Uh, I went in with no expectations. I was caught by I have to pee. And then the other game that actually is a longer experience, and I guess has a full game out that I'm definitely going to check out in the future, is Sort the Court.
Court.
That was a very interesting choice-based game. The entirety of it is that you are playing this queen that is trying to raise this village to great heights, and so you're trying to get the population up, you're trying to get money, and you're trying to keep your population happy. And you meet dozens of different characters that are just asking you for stuff, whether it's asking you for money to build a tavern, or um, or a treasure chest, an enchanted treasure chest that is asking to eat a couple of your people. There were a lot of really funny characters to meet there, and that was a good time. The choices didn't they seem to be leading up to a really big point in the story, but I have no idea when that was going to be. We went through a lot of characters,
The music was good.
Yeah, it was.
and yeah, the main theme was a bop, as they say. It was really good.
My only regret is that there is not a wider variety of bops.
It's just the one bop.
It's
Yeah.
just the one bop, and after a
Yeah.
while, you're like, oh man, it's been 30 minutes, and this song is 3
let's-
minutes long.
Let's switch
Yeah.
up the bop.
Like you mentioned when we were playing it, you mentioned it was a lot like Reigns,
Mhm.
the Reigns card game, which is definitely the case. But at the same time, it was, since you only have the choice of saying yes or no, it actually got to a point where, looking at the characters, I was just like, I'm just gonna press a button and whatever happens happens. Like it
Mhm.
it needed a little bit of something to add to it, just so you're not just dully hitting Y or N throughout. But
Mhm.
that was a really good time for sure.
Yeah, that was fun, and I mean, Carlos, I'd definitely watch you poke around itch.io for some more. A while ago, after spending a Friday night with Stars and Benjaminable, who are both on our team, we played a free game off of Steam, just a game we didn't know anything about. It said sandbox, multiplayer, and free, and we said that's enough for us. So we checked it out, and boy, the game was terrible, and it was so much fun. And now, like, I am pretty interested in the idea of checking out free games now, just because it's such a wild. You have no idea what you're gonna get. It's like eating jelly beans from Bean Boozled. You might have an idea what it's gonna be, but you don't really know what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Oh, Carlos,
Yes.
I see you talking, but I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
There we go. Now the button actually worked this time. So,
Hey,
so yeah, I forgot that I started off with Squid Game. So that was one of
Oh,
like
yes.
6
That's right.
Squid Games that I saw on itch.io. That was actually pretty cool too. But only having the one game, the red light green light, wasn't very fulfilling. But hey, I won that. So after what, a dozen tries or so.
you have some pretty funny tries too.
Yeah.
You literally you cannot use a mouse. You cannot play that game if you use a mouse to turn the camera in the slightest. But Yeah, itch.io, man. That's the place to go if you want to just experiment. And I really thought about putting those games on my official backlog list for completed games, but I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to cheat the system on that.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts.
So after that, we switched over to Demo Duo, who played Hateful Boyfriend. So I didn't know anything about that game. What they did, so Demo Duo, if you're not familiar, every Tuesday night at 8 Central, because it's 6 my time, Doppelgamer and Cram play a demo they play a demo of a game from the past 2 months. So they play the actual game, not like a demo off of Steam or something. But they spin a wheel at the end of each episode to see what they're going to play the next week. So for Extra Life, you could donate $1 and put a game on the list. So they spun it, and they came up with Hateful Boyfriend. So I didn't know anything about that game. Didn't know it was a visual novel. I think I thought it was a beat 'em up. Like, Hateful Boyfriend, I think in my head I tied that to Beautiful Joe, just because they have weird phonetic mechanics. I don't know, phonetics. It is a visual novel where everyone is a pigeon. Everyone is a bird, and they talk to each other, and there aren't really a lot of decisions. Somehow they still died eventually. I looked away for a second, and they were just like, oh, we had a game over. Well, that was sudden. But that was a lot of fun to watch them play, because so many of the games that they play, if it wasn't for them, I'd never see it. There are plenty of things that I either don't know about or I don't care about enough to check out myself. So then to see them play it is fantastic entertainment. But they played Hateful Boyfriend. Then we switched over to Apex. I played with Lord Chrome and Mr. Jerp, who each streamed from their channels. That was a lot of fun. We kind of got whooped in the Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, you did.
But honestly, the new map that we played on is so cool that I don't mind losing. Like, I don't mind losing in that game. Especially in this, they added PvE elements where you can fight spiders and prowlers, the big, like, hefty looking
cycle.
dogs. Yeah, it's just like the cycle. So that was fun. We got our butts kicked, but that was a lot of fun. But then we switched over to the arenas mode, where we all did much better, much better.
Started winning.
Yeah,
for sure.
it looks like I've actually played before in that mode. So so that was a good time. We won more than we lost. We did pretty well, really. But the very last game was especially exciting. We clutched it at the end. It was a close fight and all this, and that was a blast. We had a bunch of incentives. It was like, if you donate, $20, then you can start a special rule, which could be several things. One of them is when you get a kill, you have to swap weapons. Like, you kill somebody, okay, drop whatever weapon you had and pick up theirs. Or another one was, anytime a care package appears, you have to stop what you're doing and go for it. Like, even if it's the dumb thing to do, you have to go for it. And that was a lot of fun. Like, I would play that way even if we weren't raising money for charity. It was an exciting way to get chat involved in all this. So after all of that, we went back to Chris, drinking more sodas and playing Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Hey, yeah, we played some Hot Wheels Unleashed. That game is fun. It's a good racer for kids or for noobs or what have you. You can bump up the difficulty, and it does get pretty hard. Some of those custom tracks are brutal in like how like exact you have to be to like get over without flying across the room. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I figured that game was good for getting sodas out and popping beans in and all that stuff. So that one went really well. Yeah, I would suggest Hot Wheels Unleashed unless you have access to Forza Horizon 5, which I would say play that instead. But still very good.
Yeah, and solid. I mean, I've been more interested this year in games. Like, I don't have kids. I'm not going to. But the idea of like games that you can put on in your living room for the whole family. I mean, not that Forza isn't somehow family friendly, but Hot Wheels, it's for them kids,
It's for them kids.
Yeah, so that game was gorgeous and fun to watch, and the fact that there are so many custom tracks on there, Chris, if you wanted to stream that again soon and just find some real stupid custom skins to put on your your vehicles and some real stupid custom tracks, boy howdy, I need some beans about that.
Well, I'll send you some beans and then you can eat them.
I might actually find some. I might actually find a Bean Boozled thing around here and do that myself. How much do those cost? Like $20? I mean, I have no idea how much jelly beans cost, especially because they're
Beans.
super novelty.
There's no price on this anymore, and so like I forgot.
How many beans come in a jar? Is it always the same assortment, or
It doesn't say, and there's a fifth. This is the 5th edition, which spits them out of the top, and then there's a 6th edition, which we also have that you have to like spin a wheel, and whatever it lands on,
Oh,
you have
that's
to eat
kinda
one of
cool.
those.
Yeah, so like Walmart has the tinier spin the wheel one for $5, but then they go to like $12, $17, and I guess higher than that.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
wow?
Good
Who's over
time.
here eating all these beans?
Yeah, I might
Who
honestly.
isn't?
I might go get some beans and eat them like every time we get a sub or something. We'll see how that goes.
Well, I mean, I have them too. So I mean, if we make that a thing, gotta get them subs.
Got to get them subs. It's for them kids. Well,
For them
the
kids.
subs are for us, but we are still raising charity. Actually, we are still running the Extra Life charity through the end of the year. So anyone on our team or who even still wants to join the team, if you would like to raise money for the Children's Miracle Hospital Network, you guys know the one.
Children's Miracle Network.
Children's Miracle Network.
Children's Miracle Network Hospitals.
Thank
yes.
you. Children's Miracle
And that was
Network
in what?
Hospitals.
Featuring
Yes.
Hood.
Yeah,
Right.
and thank you for the link in chat. You can see that on the video version on the side there. You can join us and continue to raise money. That's through the end of the year. Our goal was 5,000. We shot for the moon on that goal. We really had no idea what we were going to do. We raised $1,000 in one night last year, and we got to almost now $2,400, including today's $100 donation. And we still got the rest of the year. After
We
getting
can still hit
100
that
today,
goal eventually.
I really want to hit 2,500, and it seems like we could definitely do that. I mean, we have 2 months left in the year, and we still have a whole team. But that's exciting. I think we can hit 2,500. What do we do after that? We had Jackbox Games, excuse me. We had Jackbox Games with 8 of us. We had me, Chris, Carlos, Shanny Pack, who usually runs our Jackbox stuff. He was our host this
Yeah.
time. We had Shell. We had Bats. And then we had Cam Koenig and Rev Valentine for a total of
Such a
8.
good time.
That was a blast.
She killed us. She killed us
she's
on everything that had to do with writing.
Yeah, who would have thought a
Yeah.
writer would be really good at word games?
Murdered us on that last one. Even when was it Shani that won the last round and the overall goal like
The overall goal, she was like,
he still
she had
missed
like
like $30,000 or something
Yeah.
like that.
she had like 70,000 points, and the closest person was like 30 something. It was like,
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
good.
pretty funny.
So,
that last game, Job.
job.
Very, very big fan of Job.
That was the
Yeah.
one where you picked 1 through 8.
No, Job was the one where we had you have to like type like something out, and then all of those words get jumbled and tossed
Oh.
into like a pot, and then when you answer questions, you have to take words
Mhm.
from everybody else and form a sentence out of it.
Yeah. I'd like to play that again soon because the job one and the one where you give a speech, where you give like a PowerPoint basically. Those
TED
would
Talk.
seem especially good if you not only had played them previously, but if you guys knew each other all really well. Like if you had a regular crew who was more familiar. Not that we had like any real problems with that, but Jackbox only gets better the more you play with a core group. And I'd be interested to play those games specifically with the same people over and over.
Right.
That was fun. And even whatever that 1 through 8 one was where you all vote on stuff and then you have to guess which were the most popular or least
Yeah,
popular
the little
votes.
adventure game that we had. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
interesting.
I'll have to look up what that one's called, but I'm pretty sure that one was from. I think everything we played, almost everything we played was from Jackbox 7 and 8. We did play Quiplash, and Blather Round, which are a couple of my favorites.
Yeah.
But everything else was from 7 and 8. But that was a really good time. Then on Sunday, we started off with Chris and Mr. Jerp playing Lemniscate. Chris, can you talk about that?
Yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so Lemniscate is a tactical first-person hero shooter. Turn-based tactical hero shooter, first-person FPS, all the things that you could possibly have in a game. It's in there.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I think I covered it. But anyway, so the way it's described is it's shooter chess. Basically, there's a couple different game types, but for the most part, we'll talk about the one where you just have these like nodes basically that you have to shoot at, and then once you shoot at them enough, they become yours. And then there's like two of them. So there's like an A and a B. So if I went first, I would pick one of the 7 or 8 characters and go on my run and do it. I have 20 or 25 seconds. And then once that ends, then it's the opponent's turn. And he can come in and just kill me right away and stop everything that I did on that run. But then when we load back in, I could have shot his guy before he shot my guy, then my guy can still do everything that he did. It's like time loop based, like so many things are right now. But it's really interesting. There's a lot, like, I really want to dig into what high level Lemniscate looks like because it'll blow my fucking mind, I think.
Yeah.
There's also ones where you have to just like pick up these like balls and take them to your gate, and when you take them to your gate, you score a point. And something we discovered in that is one of your guys could die and drop it, but your big brain, if you used your big brain, you could use another character to wait until that person dropped it and pick it up and then take it to your gate and score. It was like, whoa, that's crazy. What does that mean? There's also like, you could accidentally kill your own people.
Oh, yeah, you can.
It's like it's just crazy. The characters are like, you have a rocket guy, you have a guy that can pop shields, you have a guy that, or a lady that can, that shoots like acid on the ground. There's just, it's super fascinating. I suggest everybody just go like take a look at this game and watch it played once, or like watch the tutorial to wrap your head around it, because it's really not that hard to understand. It's just very difficult to describe without just like showing you as it's happening what's going on.
Well, and even then, the thing that surprised chat the most after you'd played a few rounds of that, like several people were like, wait a minute, so how many people are playing right now? And it was just you and Jerp. But by the end of your round, each of you has 4 units, each on their own loop, 5 units out in the world. So there are explosions and shots and people moving and jumping everywhere, but it's all you. It's only 2 players, which is a unique thing because it blew my mind, certainly, when games started to introduce, like, oh, there are 100 people out here and every single one of them is a human.
Yeah.
Right? So this game has a lot of people, but it's not live, right? It's turn-based, so it just records whatever you did, and then it plays that back every single round. And then it's more like a puzzle game. Like, there are no AIs, except for, like, you could place turrets that auto-aim somewhere. But there's no AI. There are no AI characters. It's all human players and their recordings. But it's wild because at the end of it, you have an entire battlefield. You have all of these crazy things going on at the same time.
So many courses.
But it's only 2 people, and really only one person plays at a time because the other person flies around with the drone during the other person's turn to kind of
see what they're doing.
Lay of the land, make a plan for the next round, and all that.
Oh, that's what the drone was then. Okay.
Yeah. There is also, we were just doing 1v1, but there is 2v2. There is like co-op, so 2 versus the computer.
Oh, that's neat.
There's a lot of different ways to do it. And I guess they would just, if it was 2v2, you would just split the number of people.
Mhm.
So if you only got to use 4 in a round or something like that, one person would get 2, the other person would get 2, and the other team same. But yeah, it's just fascinating. I think that it has really good Steam ratings, so there has to be some sort of small community behind it. This was only released a month ago. It's on Game Pass. So hey, guess what? You can try it out if you have Game Pass. Isn't Game Pass fucking rad?
Pay us, please.
So yeah, check that out. Lemniscate is cool. I wonder how much I'm going to stick with it if I don't have people to play with. You know, so
I hear that, and Chris, if you find yourself falling off of it, I would love to be the reason you keep playing.
it's so cool. Like I feel like it would be something that would be really fun, like a LAN party style thing where
Yeah.
you're like all in the same room.
We can hear each other yelling and stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
This seems like a game, honestly, it reminds me of Splitgate. Like, I hope it ends up being like Splitgate, where this ends up being something that is, like, mostly underground and spends a lot of time cooking with a lot of player feedback. And then a year from now, it gets kind of a 2.0 release, and it has, like, a resurgence of players. Because it's so unique in a lot of different ways. But I don't want to see this be the first thing so that something else can do a whole lot better. I want this to be the thing that does better. Like, I want to see Lemniscate learn from itself and the community and come back and just kill it. Because a lot of the stuff I saw seems dope. And instead of becoming its own genre where we see a bunch of clones, I just want this one to get everything it deserves. Because it seems cool. Definitely got problems. But it seems like it could be
I mean,
great.
it's not perfect. Like something we noticed is like when you shoot the acid stuff, like when you're running around, it's really tough to see because it has like a little green vapor that comes up off the ground.
I remember
Like, you
Sovereign
really
in
can't
chat was
see
like,
it.
dude, turn on RTX. What's the problem?
Yeah. But yeah, that game rules. It's very cool. I want to see some high level Lemniscate, and I feel like that's going to be something special.
So what do we have after that? We had Sovereign Takeover for the next 2 hours. It was Naraka Bladepoint with character creation.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So we only had enough time for like 2 games, and the incentive was to donate towards deciding which character that I get to create in the character creation engine. We ended up just doing one for fun anyway, and chat got to vote on it. So they suggested either 2B from Nier Automata, the
Onomatopoeia.
robot game,
Robots. Robot House?
Solid Snake, or Bayonetta were the choices on the wheel. And so we spun it, and it ended up landing on Solid Snake, and so that's who we made. And if you
Solid
missed,
choice.
yeah, it was so good. It turned out so good, even though you can't like see the top half of his face. You know, we did our best, I think. But if you'd like to see that, it's on my Twitter. I tweeted out the final result, and I should have a VOD on my channel of it as well. So anyone who's curious as to how it turned out and the inspiration and the references that I used, go check those out. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We played a solos game and a trios game, and I hadn't played Naraka Bladepoint in, gosh, months at least. It's been a long time, so it was fun to shake off the rust and really get back into it. Because that game is just absolutely gorgeous. It's a battle royale, but it doesn't feel like one because you're just exploring this like beautiful land with just lush backgrounds and just gorgeous lakes and everything until you get shot in the head with a bow. But you know, it's whatever. Yeah, I mean that's all I really have to say about Naraka Bladepoint. It's always just such a trip. It just entered its 2nd season now, actually, and there's a new character coming out named Yeshuan.
Gesundheit.
He's based on an actual like character in Chinese lore, which is really cool. And the one before him was Varka. I think her name is just like Varka G or something like that. But she seems, I don't know anything about her because I haven't played since she was released until the stream. But she looks really cool. I don't know. I don't know how she ties into the game. I don't know because the Yodohime was like a guest character from a different game, and then Yeshuan is from Chinese lore. So I don't know where the Varka character comes from, or if she's just an original character. But I'm glad that they're coming out with more content like so steadily. They haven't released any new maps or anything, but the way that they keep releasing new characters that are just interesting and unique, not only in design but like how they play, is just it's neat. It's neat. So I just
I
think they're neat.
Yeshwan was a terracotta warrior, so that's just legit. That's so awesome to bring bring that little bit of reality to a totally fantastical game.
Mhm.
What is a terracotta warrior?
Ricotta's a type of cheese, Thomas.
Interesting.
Well, terracotta warriors were like the statues, right? Made of terracotta that were like placed outside of Forbidden City or whatever. I don't know the entire
There were like
story.
100 of them found at the exact same time that they dug up in one spot, and it's one of the greatest finds in history. It's really cool.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of
Second
this.
only to ET, the ET dump pit.
I mean, yeah, that was like what
Yeah.
83,000 cartridges or something for ET.
Oh my gosh.
Right. I think the numbers game, yeah, ET is actually probably up there.
That's crazy though. Well, I'm glad I
Culturally
asked because that is an interesting Google search.
I wonder if Yeshuan then in the game will have anything to do with terracotta. Like, will he summon decoys or something? I don't know.
Oh,
I'm intrigued now.
that's
Yeah.
clever. That'd be cool. Well, so that was a lot of fun to watch, and I mean, Devi, if you did more character creator streams, I'm there. I put that on. So I was running even when I wasn't playing. I was running our stream all weekend, or like I played Apex and I was off stream, but I was technically on their streams. It was really nice during yours to go and be able to like cook some food, and like relax for a second. This is super busy weekend. So that was really fun. Like basically your stream was what I kind of want for the brunch special, where I was just like, man, I'm in the kitchen, I'm kind of busy. Like I'm not always looking at the screen, but every time I check back, there's cool stuff, but I'm like listening to it the whole time. And that was a lot of fun, and you're really good at those character creations. I mean, you've shared what you've made before on a bunch of games, but the character you made for yourself on Naraka is pretty damn good. You showed that at the beginning of your screen, and it's uncanny how well you made that character.
Yeah,
So-
when I'm given a good amount of time, I can really like crack something out. So, even though I only had like 30 minutes to create Solid Snake, I'm still happy with how he turned out. But I do wonder what it would look like if I had like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
I think the longest time I've ever spent in a character creator was 11 hours straight in Soul Calibur 4 or 5.
Okay,
Okay.
I can
Yeah.
see that. The only character creator I've spent time in with a group of people was one of the Soul Caliburs. I don't remember which one. It was at my friend's place in high school, and 4 of us together made Zap Brannigan from Futurama. He had fans for weapons, and honestly, it was so much fun. That was one of the most fun character creators I've ever personally played.
I love that. Zap Brannigan.
Yep.
I think
I do love Zap.
I made Morrigan, Ashland from Darkstalkers. I've made Pit from Kid Icarus. I made Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. And I can't remember who else. But character creations are my bag. I will do those forever and ever and ever. So I'm really glad that I got to do that for charity.
Yeah, and it's fun to watch. So after the character creator, Sovereign, Lord Chrome 375, and Julius El Cairo all hopped on Broforce with me. So all 3 of them streamed, and that game is a hoot, y'all. That
Oh my
game,
gosh.
we had never played it. I mean, I know I could just as well never tell the world this and they wouldn't know, but originally I hit up everybody because I wanted to do a beat 'em up, because all 3 of you have expressed your love for beat 'em ups, over the months. And I was like, you know what? I don't play a lot of beat 'em ups, but the couple that I've played, I really like. let's get together and we'll do a stream. We'll do a stream together. We'll play some 4-player online beat 'em up, and it's going to be great. Turns out those don't exist. Only after I'd asked everyone if they were interested did I realize that there is not there's not even one online arcade like beat 'em up that I could find on any platform. I'm not exaggerating. I just figured in the year of 2021 there would be at least something that we could all play like through Steam, and there isn't. There's not a single one. And it still seems like I must have done something wrong, but no, everywhere I looked, like a bunch, like some of them have 4-player co-op, but none of them have 4-player
Local.
online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Local, not. So anyway, after I stumbled my way through that, and I was just like, Hamina, guys, what if instead of doing that thing we all said we wanted to do, what if we played Broforce instead? Because I know if you go to Julius Alcairo's channel, he's real big into wrestling. He's usually got his wig on. He used to be a wrestler himself, along with a bunch of other people. Same with Mortis Thesaurus. They used to be on the same wrestling team, like not high school wrestling team, but like amateur wrestling team.
Real wrestling.
And
Professional.
when we loaded up Broforce, I knew they were gonna like it, especially Julius, because it has so many macho men from old action movies and stuff. I mean, I can pull up the list in front of me, but everybody's name has bro worked into it somehow. So like, Indiana Jones is in there, and when you unlock him, it's Indiana Brones.
Rambro.
Yeah. And it's so good. And there are so many different characters, and there are really only 2 buttons, and it's a side scroller where you just shoot and blow stuff up.
Yeah, stuff explodes.
Yeah, and honestly, that was some of the most fun I had all weekend. We were hollering. That was just so much fun. But that we'll at the end of this, I'll post a whole bunch of stuff in chat. I'll post links to everybody's Twitch channels because you should go follow them. But dude, Broforce was one of the highlights of my weekend. That was so much fun.
It was just so chaotic. Like you could hardly tell what was going on, and it was just such a great time that way.
Yeah. Like you all follow the same screen. So when somebody starts to get ahead or behind, you're just like, somebody needs to do something I can't see. And then there are just explosions going off everywhere, and nowhere is safe. But yeah, Broforce is honestly such a top tier co-op experience, and I'm glad to have played that again because we used to play it at some of the Kansas City meetups. But it's been a long time. I mean, it's been 2 years since I think I played Broforce. So I talked to Lord Chrome yesterday, and I was like, hey man, if you're going to play again, I'm in, because it really is an absolute blast. But we did that for a couple hours. And then after that, we rounded out the rest of the night with community games. We did Phasmophobia, checking out the most recent update, which has a ton of changes, a lot of new quality of life things. But basically, there's a super hard mode, a nightmare difficulty, that does a whole bunch of things. But there's a new map. There are weather effects. There are like in a lot of the world, or in a lot of the houses, you can hide in the closet. But on the harder difficulties, some of the closets are full of stuff, so you can't get in them. There's a lot of changes, but that was a lot of fun. But I think I've decided that if I want to play Phasmo, I don't want to stream it. Like, Phasmo is such a fun, atmospheric horror game that, like, I have fun watching other people play that on Twitch. But when I play it myself, I need to be laser focused on the game to get out of it what I want, and to be trying to entertain chat in any sort of respectful way at all. It's too hard for me, especially because Phasmo could be a pretty janky game anyway. Like, in the best of times, Phasmo is a little bit broken. So trying to manage all of that with Discord, with Twitch, it's just too much. So I had a really good time, but honestly, that's probably going to be the last time I ever stream Phasmo. Definitely not the last time I play it. But shout out to Hot Rod, Stars, and Oddity in our community for playing that. And so the 4 of us carried over into 7 Days to Die afterwards, and we brought in some new friends. So Stars and I, mostly Stars. I'd say he did like at least 75% of the work. We
It's
built
impressive.
it. Man, he killed it. Even after like the last time I had logged out from doing some building, like not only did he finish the track, but he did a bunch of major like cool looking upgrades to what it was. He built a pit stop. He built a pit stop that had a ton of grenades and landmines and all sorts of stuff. But we hopped in 7 Days to Die, which is a zombie survival crafting game that's been in alpha for like 7 years. That's not an exaggeration. But we had never messed with the creative mode before, ever. And so to hop in there over the past past couple weeks was a lot of fun. So the idea was we got everybody to load in there, hop on their motorcycles, and try to race through this track as zombies spawned everywhere and ran super fast and tried to hunt them down. So by the end of it, we completed the track a few times, but we ended up all at the pit stop area where all the grenades were, and we just spawned a bunch of enemies and blew up the entire world. But it was a fun, great way to end the entire weekend. It was totally off the rails, and it's exactly how it should have been.
Yeah, it was.
So that was a good time, and I think so. After talking to Stars, I think what we might do some point down the road, we have a big survival segment of our community. We have a whole bunch of us who, up until Extra Life, we play on Sundays. We pick a game and we try to play together. Lately, it's been Astroneer. But 7 Days is a game that we've done a dedicated server on, and we're hoping to actually keep one of those worlds up so that people can come in and make their own racetracks. You can make your own roller coasters, kind of, and just a bunch of goofy creations so that if we ever hop in there, we can just teleport around the world to all these things that people have built and really see what that creative mode has to handle. But if you're interested in that, check our Discord. We've got survival channels where we usually post that stuff. But all that was a really good time, and especially the end there, that 7 Day stuff, never would have happened without the support of our community. Like this whole thing wouldn't have happened without the support of our community. But when I went to Stars, for example, who's an old buddy of mine, and I was like, hey, I don't really know what I want here, but here's a rough outline. And he took it and ran with it. And I can tell you that we wouldn't have had a quarter of that 7 days experience if it wasn't for him. But we had, just on this list, we had Demo Duo, Lord Chrome, and Mr. Jerp join us to stream from their own channels. Devi, Sovereign Sid also streamed from their own channel. And then we did Among Us with Stream Noodles hosting with a whole bunch of people in there. And then we had Jackbox Games with others as well. But in addition to all of that we've talked about, we had Strang Bats, Nerd Meat, Ecto5, and I want to say there was somebody else. Benjamin Hood. He did a 24-hour stream.
Benjaminable
Did a 24-hour stream on Saturday, he's a madman. He was the very last person I talked to before I conked out on Saturday night. He was still going, playing, what was it? Oxygen Not Included, which I'd like to check out.
Technically, he ended up playing, I think, 23 hours and some change, because, man, at the end, he was dead tired. So, shout outs to everybody. And, I mean, this is a lot of our team's first attempt at Extra Life, and obviously we definitely can improve on this in the future. But the thing is, now we've got time still. So one of my key points to remind everybody, especially those watching or listening right now, is that since the donation links are still available until December 31st, definitely anybody that's on our team, I'm gonna be pushing for sure to get some more donations, because if everybody hits, if each person individually hits $200 in donations, they actually will have the reward of an exclusive Extra Life T-shirt. So that's just a really cool thing that Extra Life does. Obviously, there's like shipping involved, or buying the platinum profile, or whatever you want to call it. I forget what Extra Life calls it, but just having that little upgrade. But I mean, that's basically like buying a $20 T-shirt.
And you're the only one who has it.
That shows. yeah, that shows you what you've done for the year. So it's really cool little things like that. And if other people started doing, started hitting $500 or $1,000, you actually get medals. Like there's so many cool rewards for doing this outside of just the fact that you know that you're doing something awesome with your time.
Mhm. Yeah, we're almost at 2,500, which is pretty dope. That is really rad. And like I said, we couldn't have done it without our crew. Let me read off. I'm going to read them off back to back, and then I am not going to type it in chat here, but we will have something very soon that has. We've got a recap page on our website, and we'll fill that out to have links to everybody's Twitch channels, the VODs for everyone who drops those in there, and plenty of more information. If you want to get involved, even if today you'd like to start raising money for Extra Life throughout the end of the year, you'll be able to find that on our website. But let's see, we had me, Chris, Sovereign, If Rabbits Could Fly, which was funny to hear people say that in a bunch of different ways this weekend.
If rabbits were right.
Yeah, I Frabbits, who I don't get it. I think somebody said that.
I Rabbits was my favorite, yeah.
We had Nerd Meat, we had Stars, we had Doppelgamer and Cram, who are demo duo. Lord Chrome 375. I had to reread this because
375.
It's you'll hear Julius L. Cairo say it. It's Lord Chrome 375. It's great. Ask him to do it, and he'll be excited to do it. Mortis Thesaurus, Mr. Jerp, Shanny Pack, Stream Noodles, Ecto 5, Straying Bats, Benjaminable, Julius L. Cairo, who I just mentioned, and Yup, that's Shell. We had a whole crew, y'all. Like, absolutely could not have done this without our community. So follow all of them. Check out our website to get all the details here soon. I will tell you, one of my favorite moments from the entire weekend actually came from when we were off stream. So on Friday night, we got we got the two biggest ratings we've ever had on our channel. We usually average around, like, I don't know, anywhere between 6 and 12 viewers on a regular day. And Bats came in with a 16-person raid, which was the biggest raid we've ever had. And then Cheesecake Daddy, whose birthday was on Friday, he came in with 22 people. And I know later on during the weekend, we had an even bigger raid, I think from Bats, I think during Jackbox. But
Yeah.
we hit all sorts of milestones there. But we had on Friday night, so like I said, we normally have anywhere from 6 to 12 viewers. We had 71 concurrent viewers on our channel, which doesn't even seem real. But we didn't do that ourselves. That was through all of the wonderful people that we're playing with and who have contributed to this. I know I'm a broken record here, but I can't say enough that this is not just us. Like, this only happens because everybody wanted to be a part of this. And then, so we took all of those people and we ended up rating a channel, Not Creative. She is an Apex streamer I've been watching lately. She usually has about 5 people on her channel at a given time. Well, we rated with 32 people, and she almost cried because, like, I mean, I felt like I was gonna cry when we had when I saw the 71 viewers. I was just like, I don't even know what to say right now. But that moment where she realized just how many people were in her chat, and they were active in chat, and they were hollering and excited, and when she'd have a win, they're there cheering for it. That was so much fun, and honestly, I wish I could do that every single day. Like, if I could take those kind of numbers and rate a small channel, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite part of the whole weekend, and it wasn't even recorded. Like, it was technically not ours at that point, right? You hand off the reins with the raid to another channel, but that was great. So that was a fantastic weekend, y'all. We super appreciate it. This marked a 1-year anniversary of this team as Party Invite. We've known each other longer than that, but this is the first time we really band together and staked our claim. Said this is our banner, and here's where we stand. And I'm really excited to see where we are another year from now. Things might look a lot different, or they might not, and both of those sound like wonderful things. We've got a good thing now. We just got to keep building. And
Yep.
I don't know. After this last weekend, I feel like we could do anything.
Yeah,
So-
this weekend was a blast. One of my favorite moments was I have two. So I believe it was on the Friday during Among Us when I had to eat the barf bean. That was memorable.
Yeah.
And the other moment also took place off stream on Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday night? I don't remember.
It all runs together.
Time is a flat circle and also an illusion. But Thomas was like, hey, there was a few of us hanging out in Discord. He's like, I think I'm gonna play some Inscription. And so it was like me and Odysseus, and I think Shani was in there for a while too. But then Shani dropped out, and we were literally up till like 2 or 3 in the morning watching Thomas get to the end of the first part of Inscription, and it was great.
Which is
And
a real
Thomas-
big turning point in that game. Like it's not something we can talk about without spoiling anything.
Correct.
And it maybe you're about to say this, Chris, but it felt like a slumber party. Like
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Thomas, like right before we hopped off, Thomas was like, "Feel like we were at a slumber party and we were staying up too late."
yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, kind of
like
did feel like that."
like a lock-in or something where
Yeah.
oh, you might hear Kitty somewhere around here. Kitty, I hear you. Where are you? Where it was like we worked all day and now the mods are asleep and now we can do anything, right? The parents are asleep and we're gonna stay up late drinking Dr. Pepper.
I wasn't drinking Dr. Pepper.
Me
I
neither.
promise.
But that really was so much fun. And again, that was like another off-stream moment that I loved, because it's like when we were talking about the podcast here, it's like, well, what do we talk about? And the Inscription stuff, I'm like, shoot, I didn't even play Inscription on stream. I want to talk about it, but I played 6 other games that I should really cover. But it was worth it. And boy, yeah, that and Darkest Dungeon, I played a bunch more. But we'll revisit that stuff next week. We'll be back for your regularly scheduled games coverage. Everything we've been playing.
Whoop, whoop.
But before I totally move on, Carlos and Debbie, do you guys have any favorite moments you want to share from the weekend or anything?
My favorite moment during the weekend was when we were all playing Broforce, and I got Indiana Brones, and I discovered that you can travel with the whip using it like a grappling hook.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I ended up in this pit, falling to my death, but then I very quickly grappled my way out. And we were just like, woo, woo, awesome, yeah, we survived. And then I literally immediately died by falling back into that same hole.
I made it. Oh.
It was almost a really cool moment.
Dude, that was a good moment.
Yeah, as for me, I had a surprise. Like, I'm not surprised at the good time I had with Jackbox, but I think we all just kind of had that extra bonding moment because we haven't all hung out at the same time on an experience like that. But we really had the game room feel for sure. I feel like I haven't felt that since we played Man of Medan. Like,
Yeah.
Jackbox was a damn good time, and though we had the hiccups with Among Us, I specifically had hiccups with Among Us.
Oh, dude, we
I
all
felt
did.
like
We all did.
I felt like that was a good time. That was the first time that I had not died in Among Us for like 2.5 hours easy. I always die, and that was the first time that I was just like, wow, am I decent at this game, or what's going on here? And then of course the bug of getting stuck on the ladder when I became an
Aw.
imposter. Which I've got to reach out to Victoria Tran about that. Because
Excuse me.
like I don't think that I don't think that I could have played that any better than I did, and just having the, like I said before, the game room feel, like when Ben was covering such a good job of my screw up on the ladder and actually won that game despite me not being an available imposter with him. Like there's just so many things that went right in in these games that could have gone so wrong, and it was wild. Yeah, that's really the weekend was just a tornado of things happening, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. I wanna see like the holiday season is always a lot busier for everybody. It's a busy time of year. But I think I'm gonna start putting together. Well, I am going to start putting together community nights on Fridays and Saturdays when I'm available. I encourage other people to use our Looking for Group channel when you can. I've heard a lot of people say they're like, "Well, Thomas, I just don't play the same games as you." Then perfect. Then shout out the games that you play, because there are other people that think that exact same thing. They're like,
Yep.
I don't even know what these indie games are you're talking about. I barely know what an indie game is. Is anybody playing Call of Duty? And I'm like, dude, you got to be the one to say who else wants to play Call of Duty, because they're out there, you know. But don't wait for me for it. We got a great community, and plenty of people have nothing to do with me. So, let's see. Is there anything else? Yeah, we'll be back. I'll be happy to talk about Inscription and Darkest Dungeon next week, among other things.
I'll be talking about Forza, Battlefield 2042. Who knows what else?
Yeah.
I almost bought Planet Coaster Console Edition today just because I got a wild hair.
Oh my god.
I'm so
Spicy.
sad because Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl comes out the day after we record next week.
Mm.
Wait.
So-
We'll talk about it.
Brilliant Shining Diamond Pearl.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, the remix of the Sinnoh.
Pearl,
Yeah,
Diamond, Shining.
and Pearl, yeah.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
No, it's a thing.
The very long-awaited Sinnoh remakes. But I'm gonna have a lot to say on the podcast. I'll talk about that on.
Cool. Well, sweet. Then we'll wrap it up here. We'll end the pod, and everybody else in chat, stick around if you're listening to the audio version of this later on. Don't forget that this is a Twitch show that also airs on Thursday nights. The time might change, so check our socials. But we appreciate everybody for tuning in, no matter where you are. And like
or
I said,
when you are.
yes,
Or when. Yeah.
because we
Indeed.
couldn't do this without you. So thanks everybody for sticking around, and Carlos, to play us out, or whatever the Bill O'Reilly line is.
Yeah, so I guess I'll go with it. This has been the Party Invite podcast. Thank you so much for listening, watching, or joining us in the live chat on Twitch. Here's your weekly reminder to find more of our content as well as our community by going to www.partyinvite.games. I have been Vilos, and I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Turtles.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.